All right, guys, welcome to our free Amazon webinar tonight. This is going to be our simple Amazon strategy that helped my special guest earn $127,000, $589.16 in just one day on Amazon. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I'm going to flip to this slide in a second here and prove to you that this actually happened. So this is a sales snapshot from July 11th at 6:39 p.m. Pacific. So I'm in the Eastern time zone, and so is my special guest. And we still had about 2.5 hours left in the day. And if you add up all of the ordered product sales there in the middle, they do equal $127,000 and change. So I will put a caveat here that this was, of course, Amazon Prime Day. So this would be a little bit of a bigger sales day for my special guest, but nonetheless, this is only 3 of his 7 stores, and I think we would all agree that no matter what the day it is, $127,000 in sales is absolutely fantastic. And I know the people out there are going to try to troll me and be like, "Whoa, what's the margins on that?" Well, even if the margins were 10% on that, it's a $12,000 plus profit day, right? Which I know with my special guest method, the margins are a lot higher, but nonetheless, you guys can see that this was a pretty crazy day for my special guest. So my big promise for this webinar, our big promise for this webinar is we're going to show you how to start profiting in your Amazon business today once you get off this webinar by finding everyday products online and having Amazon do most of the work for you, okay? Without having to store the product in some warehouse or breaking Amazon terms and conditions by drop shipping from Walmart or something like that. And I promise you, it's going to be pretty newbie friendly. So you're going to get a lot of value out of this webinar, and you're going to be able to get off this webinar and apply the strategies that we give you today and go out there and make some money. All right. Our goal, if you have a business, we want to add another method to scale your business further. All right. I know there's a lot of people out there who are on this webinar that already have Amazon businesses. They're already doing really well for themselves. And our goal here is to give you another technique out there to just scale it a little bit further. And if you're a beginner, we want to give you a simple strategy that you can use today to create a profitable business, okay? So we want to make sure if you're a beginner, you can go over to Amazon Seller Central, get yourself set up, and with our methods, you can go out there and start profiting really quickly, all right? And if you stay to the end, I have a special present for you. I'm going to actually give away $100 in cash, all right? And this is going to come after the question period. So stay all the way to the end. Put your phones away. There's a lot of value here, and I'm going to bribe you to stay to the end, all right? We're going to hand you a nice little $100 bill to one lucky winner. I don't know how I'm going to pick that winner, but we'll pick one randomly, and we will send you $100 the second the webinar is over. And why is this webinar different, right? This is going to be an A to B training, right? This is not fluff. It's not theory. So what I ask you do is just turn off all the junk around you. Turn your TV off, put your phone away, get off Facebook. I know some people are probably commenting on my Facebook feed as we speak. Please stop and pay attention, all right? If you miss parts of this, you might not be able to piece it all together. That's what we worry about, all right? It's going to be a very training-intensive webinar. It's going to be really good, and I really want you guys to pay attention to what we have to offer. Now, who am I? I'm Sean Agnew here. I am an e-commerce and Facebook marketing expert. I probably actually have a few more tricks up my sleeve than that, but I will leave it to those two things. You can see a picture of me on the left hanging off the CN Tower in Toronto, Canada. I am born and raised in Toronto. I am smiling there, but I promise you I am absolutely terrified for my life. But nonetheless, it was an experience to have. The picture of me on the right in a nice pink cowboy hat. That is my daughter to the right of me in the picture, I guess the left of me if you're looking at your computer screen. And she got a couple cowboy hats and thought I'd look funny in it. So it is what it is. And my guest today is Mr. David Arnett. Now, I'm going to let Arnett come out here in a second, and we'll let him talk a little bit more about himself because I don't feel like I can really do it justice. But there's a lot of, quote unquote gurus out there. And, I don't mean to use guru in a negative connotation, but there's a lot of experts out there who teach different things and they're good. But I really feel like, David is probably the best person I've ever met on Amazon. And what I'm going to do here, David, is I'm actually going to figure out a way to get my GoToWebinar back. Here we go. and I'm going to pass the screen over to you. Okay, so let me just find you. And you're going to go ahead and tell a little bit about your story. So I'm just going to unmute you here. Here we go. And I'm actually going to pass the screen over to you, if you don't mind, and make you the presenter. Okay, so I'm going to click OK, and then you should be able to take the screen in a minute. And tell us a little bit more about yourself. There you go. We can see your screen, David. So I'm going to mute out. Talk a little bit about yourself. And I'm sure these folks are sick of listening to me talk and would love to just hear what you have to offer. So I'm going to press mute and go right ahead, my friend.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. David Arnett here. As you all know, I'm doing the training inside the Wealth Network. First, just want to tell everyone about my journey and venturing into FBA. Originally started back about 5 years ago selling on eBay, and eventually got up to selling a couple hundred items a day. Quickly, though, between that and working a full-time job, sending out 200 items a day, I was having to pack each item, send them out, go to the post office. It was just getting very time sensitive. Took up a lot of the time for very little amount of money. And someone had told me about Amazon FBA, and so I got to looking into it. And what's really cool with Amazon's FBA service, and for anyone who does not know, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. They actually, you just send the products to their fulfillment center. They actually then store the products for you. They ship them to the customers as they are purchased, and they do all the back-end customer support and returns and any type of payment issues. So you really get to step away from all the operations of the business and really focus on the income producing activities, which is finding inventory, instead of spending countless hours with the handling the customer service, returns, and any of the actually listing the product, all of that. I've been doing Amazon since August of 2014, so almost 3 years now. Or sorry, August of 13, so almost 4 years now. For probably the first 1 to 2 years, I only did retail and online arbitrage. That's what we're going to demonstrate on this webinar. I feel it's really important for people starting out because, one, it's very cheap. Two, you can go very broad on inventory. So the more separation of multiple types of items that you have on Amazon's platform, the better percentage of you selling stuff compared to having all your money tied up in 1 to 10 products. Some of the other advantages is you can get started immediately. You don't have to go find any type of connections. You can get started as we're on this webinar, or even soon after. Some of the other stuff, is it's the most hands-on, which is very important to learning the back office of Amazon, and then everything else just comes, piece of cake, because you've done the stuff hands-on, and just makes it much easier whenever you get into the larger stuff. After I did retail and online arbitrage, ventured into liquidation pallets. Did that for probably 6 months to a year, and I've been doing truckloads of inventory for the past year, and that's really skyrocketed my business to a whole new level there. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and go into some examples here. After our webinar yesterday, we had a lot of people asking, what is Amazon FBA? And they understood what we were saying, but didn't quite comprehend of, what is online arbitrage. So we're going to go over a couple examples here. And we'll post a link here as well for Amazon's fulfillment services. You can check out this page. Just tells you all the cool things. Another thing with the FBA is Amazon is actually able to, if your items are sent into FBA, all your customers still get the 2-day shipping, and you get tons more sales by having your items offered through Prime instead of actually shipping them. just says multiple other things here. It's also fairly cost effective compared to having multiple employees shipping stuff out for you every day and doing any customer service. All right, so here is the Amazon.com. What you do, you can go to any big retailer. I'm going to use, their biggest competition, Walmart.com, just for an example because everybody's familiar with it. One thing I do normally is just come over here and click on clearance, and usually I just click clearance on some of these larger stores just because they have so many items that it would just take you forever to go through their catalog. Some of the lower volume stores, which we'll talk about later, those guys sometimes it actually benefits you to go more in depth into a lot of their products. Anyways, you can see here we still got 475,000 products. Couple things to keep in mind. Yeah, when you're first starting, I don't recommend you going into high priced items just because it's a lot of capital out for very few units of products, and your biggest focus point for your first 5 to 6 months is just dishing out a crap ton of items and a variation of items. So don't keep them in any type of category. As you can see up here at the top, there's multiple different categories to take advantage of. Also, price point. So choose some of these smaller priced items, for example. Now, also keep in mind that you want items that are cheap to ship. So in this, for example, this tumbler's small in size, probably be fairly cheap to ship, where this pillow's obviously much bigger, as well as this dog crate down here is also much bigger and heavier, therefore it's going to cost a lot more for shipping. So just come down, choose a few things, a couple lower priced items. I'm actually going to, let's go to a particular, let's try baby here. All right, and as you can see, it just brings up a lot of products. So a couple other things to go to is for Walmart, I like to look at the clearance. Also rollback. Rollbacks always, that the products are currently discounted, so there's definitely, some room there for you to take advantage of. A lot of these items look a lot bigger in size. This one here is small. This Dream Soother. I'm just pulling these up in other windows, and we'll go over them here soon. Another thing that you could do is click on the highest review or highest ratings. A lot of times those are pretty fast selling products. These spoons here, these clothing. We'll try a couple more expensive items as well. A lot of this other stuff's, I'll stay away from clothing on this one just because it's variation, which you guys will learn inside the training. So over here on the left hand side, you can also choose the price. So let's try a little bit more expensive items and bestsellers. All right, you've got these pump and save bags, touch and learn musical bee, and this puppy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start here. We pulled this one up. It's this double wall vacuum sealed tumbler. Also, I do want to mention on this webinar, we're going to do everything very simple. So we're just going to use copy and paste. We're not going to use any type of software or plugins, just to make it super easy for everyone. You guys will learn a lot more plugins and software and stuff like that inside trainings that will make it much easier for you. All right, so you would just copy this, stick it into Amazon's search bar, and here we go. So it was $6.74 here at Walmart, and it's selling for $12 on Amazon. And as you can see, there's multiple variations of them as well. So for example, this orange one's $15.24, blue, 1666. This light blue, cheaper. So we're just going to start with the gray one here. All right. And you can see all your variations here on the page as well. So let's look for some of the more expensive ones. All right, this green one's $16.99. Here you go. This orange one's $16.99. One other thing you want to do here is, and it also has different quantities as well. Be sure and check that whenever you're doing your sourcing as well, because you can bundle items together and you can profit a little bit more usually. I'm going to use one for this example though. All right, so $16.99 here at Amazon, and it is only $6 here at Walmart. So awesome. We will try this one here. All right, so you're going to scroll down, and so it's 126,000 in kitchen. So you want to check the rank. We do have a rank chart as well inside of TWN, and that way, you want to stay with pretty top selling ranks of items. That just tells you how quickly they go. But in this example, you would just purchase the item for $6 here at Walmart. Also, with Walmart being convenient to most locations, you could actually pick them up inside the store, tonight or tomorrow, and actually already have these things listed and be on the way to Amazon. Multiple other callers here. I want to check the rank of a couple. Find a couple. All right, so this one here is 55,000 in rank. That's a perfect example. All right, $15.99 here on Amazon, and it is $6 on Walmart. Awesome. So two other sites that I want to talk about.
So David, if I can
One,
cut in there quickly,
yeah,
just to go back to that item. So it's $6 on Walmart and $15.99 on Amazon.
yes.
What sort of fees are you looking at there?
That's what I'm about to cover.
Oh, you're able to cover that. Awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're talking about, just because people are clear, we're talking about actually we would go buy these products and ship them into Amazon. So then, you don't have to store them and you don't have to do any of the work once you get them off to Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, continue.
Yeah, no problem. All right, two other sites we're going to talk about here. The first one's going to be FBAtoolkit.com, and the second one is going to be FBA Calculator. And this is what Sean was talking about, which will show the fees and such. All right, so we'll scroll down here, and you'll notice something called an ASIN. So most products that you find in the store has a barcode. An ASIN is just Amazon's, that is their type of barcode. It is a number indicator that indicates that specific listing. So you just want to pull the ASIN here, and once again, the sales rank is 55,000. We'll talk about that here shortly. So inside of the FBA calculator, you'll just put the ASIN in here, and here's your product. It was selling for $15.99. So if you were the lowest price, you'll receive back $9.32 after all of Amazon's fees. So Amazon, obviously, they staff people. So when you send this in, you do have to pay for the fulfillment for their staff to pull your product and, fulfill it for you. Also, that includes the shipping. So this, for example, here, the $4.27 is for the shipping, and the fees here is the $2.40 they charge you for fulfilling the product for you. You could also ship it yourself, but FBA, you're able to send in many products and only focus on finding products and not worry about all the other time-consuming activities. All right, so $9.32. Also, when we talked about the ranking, so it is 55,000, and that's in kitchen and dining. So over here at FBA Toolkit, you'll just find the category. It's right here, kitchen and dining. 55,000. this particular item sells 1 to 3 a day. So if you're bringing back $9.32, it's a $3.32 profit. It may not seem like a lot, but when you talk about a percentage, that's almost a 60% profit margin, which is extremely high in the industry. And you can expect to sell 1 to 3 a day. Now, do keep in mind, there are other sellers, so be sure and check how many other sellers there are as far as to how many particular items that you would buy, and we'll cover that more in the training as well. All right, and then obviously in this particular example, just check the other ones as well, and that way whenever you actually order the items, you can do a bulk order. And in this case, Walmart would send you the products, and whenever you receive them, you would just then enter them into your Amazon account and send them into Amazon's warehouses, and then they take over the rest of everything for you. So, all right. Let me know also, Sean, if anyone has any questions on that. As a lot of the how to list it and create an account, all that's inside the training.
Yeah, the only question I see a couple here, the shipping cost to Amazon, that's included in the FBA fee calculator?
No, it's tremendously cheap though. So the more items that you send in, the cheaper it is. But I mean, I've sent in, I for myself, I like to add in an extra 10 cent to 25 cent an item. Because a lot of times if you send in 100 smaller items, your shipping charge, because you're taking advantage of Amazon's relationship with UPS. So you're actually on their shipping account, and therefore they give you tremendous discounts.
Awesome, awesome. And I'll just ask one question. We'll save a lot of the questions to the end, guys, but this is a good question, anyways. And I already know the answer to it, but our users would like to know: does Amazon charge you to store items? What if you don't sell all of them? Is there a charge for storage?
Yes, there is a storage fee. It's let's see here. We can pull up. It's fairly cheap. It's like 11. I know the long-term storage fee, if it's there for over 6 months, is $11 every square foot. But that's once again if it's there and for 6 months. But the importance of the training inside of the TWN is to find very fast-moving products. Therefore, they're not sitting as long. Um, and that's why it's important that ranking, and what you're buying, and not just buying stuff due to the price. Also, for the shipping charge, I mean, I have a couple for one of my accounts. I probably have about 10,000 items there right now, and I think its storage fee was $362 because it's whatever set there for a full 30 days for the monthly storage fee.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead and continue on.
Cool. We're just gonna check over a couple more of these as well. It's not wanting to pull them up. Give me one second. We'll pull this one here up. All right, so you would just do the same thing. Just keep looking at some products. Not all of them will be that good. Let's see here. All right, so this one here was $13.53 on Walmart, and it looks like it's selling for around $20.99 here on Amazon. It looks like there's one here as well for $24.95. And here's another one. So while you're seeing multiple listings, is sometimes other sellers will create a new listing in order to separate themselves from competition. The only problem with that is a lot of times their sales ranks are very bad and therefore don't sell. So I do recommend going on to the listing with the best sales rank. And once again, that's covered inside the training as well. All right, and we're going to pull up this one. Just going to do a few more on Walmart. We'll talk about a couple other sites. So you just copy it here. And so it's 15. So here's an example. This one's 15.19 here on Walmart, and it's 15.19 here on Amazon. Therefore, obviously, there would be no money to be made there. So you just go on to the next one. Here's a smart puppy. Awesome. So you'll look right here. So this here is a good listing that says with bonus DVD. All right, so we'll look at this one. Around $21. See if there's another listing as well. Here's one for $25.36. And all right, here we go. So here's one for $30. And so once again, here it is on Walmart, and here it is on Amazon. Exact same item. We'll do another example here for you guys. This one's 62,000 in toys. You would just go over to your revenue calculator. $30. So you're going to get back $19 after fees. And this one was, almost $14. So that's still a $5 profit. And your sales rank was 62,000 here in toys. So that's where you go to your FBA calculator, and 62,000 in toys. So it sells 1 to 3 a day. So if you picked up 5 units and those sold in 5 days, that's $25. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're talking about multiple items, it definitely adds up. Uh, we'll see if we can find some fast selling ones too. I don't use Walmart a lot. I try inside some of the advanced training. We cover some really cool sites that a lot less people know about, and those are kind of the bread and butter ones because there's a whole lot less competition. We'll cover at least one here. Let's try, for example, let's try everythingkitchens.com. Awesome. So on this particular site, you would just click up here. You've got your different types of categories. We'll just click on grilling essentials. And once again, you would just start pulling a few of these up. You can actually sort them as well by the price. And so for example, this one here is $3 on Everything's Kitchen. And this little tool here, I'll talk about it briefly, but you guys will learn this too in the training. On Amazon, if you put in Amazon Assistant and you click this little thing here and you install it to your Google Chrome, what's going to do, because you've probably noticed on some of them that it will come up here, it'll actually bring out the Amazon listing up top here. So it just makes it a little bit quicker for you to tell whether the product is going to be profitable or not. But there it is for $8. So you're gonna, use a little bit in fees, and you're going to, profit the rest. Another item here. Most of these you'll just have to copy and paste. And so here, there it is for $19.99. Here it is for $42.44. So definitely some money to be made there. It's 100,000 in patio, lawn and garden. So $31. So you're going to pay $19. You're going to get $31 back. And for the patio, lawn, and garden, let's see here, 100,000 ranking is one every 2 days. Let's check another site here. I use this one quite a bit. Pampered Chef, for example. Just go over here to shop on the left-hand side. You've also, just choose one of the categories. Cookware has a lot. And as you can see, some of their stuff gets pretty pricey. So you might want to choose one of the smaller price points and just start pulling a couple up here on Amazon. So here it is on Amazon, and here it is on Pamper Chef, $9.50, $19.04 here on Amazon Prime, 33,000 in kitchen. So this one would sell quite a bit. You're talking 2 to 4 a day. So 3 a day. Let's say you make. We can actually find out for you. Oops. And say 19.99. So if you get about a $5 profit, so that's a 50% profit margin, which is insane. And also we can try one or two more here. So it's fairly easy. It's really just a little time consuming to go through them all. Like I said, we do make it easier with some of the stuff that we include inside the TWN. We make it much easier for everyone. This one here, oh wow, this one's 9,000 in kitchen. So here we go. Here's a good example. This one's 950, 1690 here on Amazon. And one thing too to keep in mind is you can price stuff up to 5%, or I'm sorry, 2.5% over any other FBA seller and 5% over any actual merchant fulfilled seller. So this one, you're going to make $2. Don't seem like a lot, but the product sells 8 to 11 a day. So that one example is, a $20 per day item for you. All right. Any other questions coming in, Sean? Just want to make sure I'm not going too fast or anything.
Yeah, why don't we take let's take 2 or 3 questions. I want to save most of them for the end, but you did show a lot of info there, so I think we might have some users with some questions. So why don't I just take 2 or 3 questions? So here's a good one actually. How many units do you buy usually from your suppliers to send into Amazon? Like, is there a way to tell whether somebody should buy like 100 units or 10 units, or what do you recommend?
Well, one thing to now, without any type of, we use some plugins that make it much easier, but manually, the cheapest way to do it is just kind of look at your current competition. So, for example, with the skinny scraper, so if you look down here, it says you've got the price, the description, etc., and it'll say new from. Now, what this does is it shows you other sellers of the product. So in this case, there was only 8 other sellers, so you're not competing against that many people. So whenever this particular item, let's see, 33,000. What I would do is buy a month supply divided by the amount of sellers. So really easy. Just bring up a calculator here. Sells 2 to 4 a day. So we'll say a 3 average times 30 days is 90 units divided by the 8 sellers. In this particular case, I would buy about 11 units. And then Now, if you have more capital, then you would want to double that or even triple it, having, you know, so that you don't have to replenish as quick. One thing to keep in mind as you guys are purchasing this is keep your purchases on a spreadsheet so that you can, once you start learning stuff or you get stuff to Amazon and it starts really selling, you can quickly go back to your spreadsheet and just reorder and keep replenishing. And if an item only makes you $5 a day, if you're replenishing it, $5 a day over a year really adds up. That's $1,800 for one particular item. One thing to keep in mind as well is quarter 4 is right around the corner. So get this, you sell more in November and December than all other 10 months put together online. So you guys are in prime time to get started on Amazon because you can get stuff there before quarter 4 and really rake in some money for the Christmas time and Black Friday.
Yeah, good call there. One thing I think you should mention here, because it's come up a couple times, is category and brand restrictions, and maybe you can talk a little bit about that and make sure to just let people know that they should always check their Amazon account to make sure that they are available
Yeah.
to sell in certain categories.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can cover categories really big in a future webinar as well, as far as how to get approved in gated categories. But to see what categories you're approved in, um, there is a Seller Central help article that will actually tell you the categories that any brand new seller is ungated in. But if you want to check, whenever you create your Amazon account, just go up here to settings and click on, let's see here, I think it's fulfillment by Amazon. And right here, it will tell you all the categories that you're approved in. A lot of times brand new accounts will start with office products, camera, or the ones that you're normally gated in when you first start is automotive, apparel, shoes, and then beauty, health and personal, and so then these, because I'm approved in some of those other ones, so this must be the ones that everyone can sell in. So what's missing is shoes, or sorry, shoes is right here. So what's missing is beauty, health and personal, and grocery. Those categories are gated. Some new sellers have issues with toys this time of the year. After a certain date, Amazon starts, if you haven't seen in so many units of toys before a certain date, then they won't allow any more for the quarter 4. They just don't want any panic at quarter 4 when kids aren't getting their toys or any of that.
Awesome. Why don't we show one more example and then close that part of the webinar out?
Awesome. Just, it's just one of those manual things where you just pull up a couple different items and see how they do. And you can do this on just about any online site. When you first start out, a lot of people will use the bigger retail stores like Walmart. They will use Target, Toys R Us, and etc. In the advanced training, we teach about stores that a lot less people know about, and that way you have less competition. This one here, this spatula set, too many different spatula sets, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Microwave grip set. Let's try a pampered chef. So here we go. This $18 here on Amazon, and it's only $8 here on Pampered Chef. And like last time, you would just pull up the ASIN. So here's an example of one that a little less on rank. Just put in your $18. And so it sells for $12.89. So therefore, you are $12.89 and you're paying $8. Now you're profiting about 60% return on investment there on an item, which is really good. You know, and the good thing is if it is fast selling products, so this one is going to be a little bit slower moving. It's actually 253,000 in kitchen and dining. I think it's 250. So it's only going to sell about one every 6 days. That's why it's important to know about good ranks. So this particular one, even though it looks like it would be a good fit, we actually would pass on because it sells only one every 6 days. If there's not many people selling it, so it's only got 7 sellers, you could buy 1 or 2, but don't expect it to sell. But we did the calculator, one every 6 days. So it only sells 5 a month, and there's 7 sellers. So don't expect to sell but 1 a month of that particular product. But in one of the previous examples, we had one that was selling like 8 a day. So those, those things you would definitely want to keep stocked up on. Awesome. Anything else in particular you want me to cover there, Sean?
No, buddy. What I'm going to do here is take the screen back, and before I take the screen
Awesome.
back, type in some ones if you thought that added some value for you guys on this Amazon training so far. Wow, one person has about 14 ones. Somebody has 7. There's like 11 there. Oh, I think they're trying to beat each other now. Somebody just added like 30 ones. So
It's funny.
people absolutely loving this training so far. Awesome. So
Yeah, and this is just the start. I mean, this is the easiest way to get started, and the quickest way to get a lot of stuff. But this just is the very small amount of what's available to do on Amazon.
yeah. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is take the screen back, and I just want you, David, can you just tell me before you mute out, buddy, if you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you can go ahead and hit the mute button there so you don't echo. Let me just find you too, anyways, just to make sure I can mute you. I can't find you on this thing, so maybe just press the mute button on your side. Anyways, guys, so what David was showing you there was a really, really awesome method on how you can go right now after this webinar is over and head over to your computer and start doing this on your own. All right, you can go look at some of the suppliers we showed you, use some of the methods we showed you, use some of the tools we showed you, get a really good informed decision on products. Buy them based on David's formula, like he said. Look at the average sales per month and divide it by the number of sellers. Really, really smart, savvy way to do so. Or if you have a little bit more capital and you want to take on a little bit more risk, you can do that, right? We're all business owners, and these are the decisions we get to make. But what if I told you we have a software that does a lot of that work for you? All right. So just want to show you our Profits By tool here. Now, this is from today. These are products from today that our team has gone and done a lot of the research on it for you. So you can see we have this Nerf Super Soaker. We've already done all the research for you. It's everything is in the top 3% of their categories. Sometimes they're even better. You can see this one only has 3 sellers on it. You can get it for $15. The fees are 14, so you're in around 29, and the buy box is right around 39. So you're looking at about a $10 profit there. And the average sales are 1 per day. You can keep scrolling down. We have this one here. It sells 3 times a day. Costs $12.50 with another $9.30, so about $21.80 if my math is right. And it's selling for $28.30, so about a $7 profit on a $28 products. Yeah, about 25% margin. So pretty decent there. Melissa and Doug here, 1 a day. $8, 13, so about 14 bucks, sells for 30. So, you're looking at about 100% right there. Obviously, people have mentioned, of course, some of these stores you buy from will have tax that you have to account for, and there will be shipping costs in Amazon, 10 to 20 cents, something like that. So that will bring your profit down a little bit. But you guys get the point, right? I mean, you can do your own math. Now, there is one here actually that I saw, this one, 13 per day on average. All right. Costs 19 total and then sells for 26. So, you're looking at $9, obviously minus, some of these stores don't have tax, some of them do. But if they do, you're minusing off tax and some shipping. And you're selling it on average 13 times a day. Obviously, divided by the amount of sellers too, right? So if it's selling on 13 times a day and there's 4 or 5 of you, you'll probably get about 3 or 4 of those sales every day. And I think there was one other cool one in here, but I'm not going to go over them all. And let's go with one more. This one sells 2 a day, so $10, $22 and change, and it sells for $34.99. So this tool is pretty cool. It's basically everything David just showed you without you having to actually spend the hour it just took David to find 4 or 5 products. And let's be honest, this is a webinar. He prepared ahead of time, right? So you're going to go out there and do this on your own, and you're going to come across some gold mines, and you're going to have some amazing results if you spend the time and put the energy in, or we could do this all for you. So what I want to do here is get back to my presentation quickly, and just want to talk about this and ask you guys a question. Would you rather do all the work yourself, or would you rather have a tool that did it for you? If you'd rather have a tool that did the work for you, type in some ones in the question box for me. One. Here we go. Like everybody. Oh, one person typed so many ones that then it adds periods at the end of the ones because she typed too many ones for me to see any further. So that's awesome. Awesome stuff. So people are excited about that tool. And my next question would be, how much would you pay for that tool, right? I mean, obviously, if we're going to be spending the time hiring a staff, doing the research, putting this software together, it's not something we can offer for free to everybody. So what I want to introduce you today is what we call the Wealth Network. All right. And what we've been talking about, what we've given you guys today is one simple Amazon strategy that you can go right after this webinar and use on your own. You don't have to use any tool or anything that I'm about to show you. You can just get off this webinar, go make some money using our free methods. And that's awesome. I hope you do that. But I want to talk a little bit about the Wealth Network. And this is the world's most comprehensive e-commerce marketing software and training solution. All right. And, what I want to talk about is what you get if you decide to take us up on our offer that I'm about to present to you. All right. Now, remember, I do have a $100 gift card to give away at the end of this webinar, and we are going to get to your questions. So if you just stick with me through this, 3 or 4 minute pitch I'm about to make you, I think it's fair based on all the free value that we just gave you. And just hold off, and we're going to answer all your questions, and we will give away that $100. And I have a pretty cool way of doing it. So what you get with the Wealth Network is 8 things that I'm going to talk about, and actually probably much more than this, but I really wanted to focus on these 8 things. So obviously, we're going to give you some amazing e-commerce training, just like we did tonight. We have training just like this back there in our back office that David alluded to, both on eBay and Amazon. All right. And we believe that if we just gave that alone, it would be a $47 a month value. We have a turbo lister software that allows you to create your listings on eBay like that. Anybody who's ever tried to create a listing from scratch on eBay knows it can take 3, 4, 5 minutes to do so. We can get those up in 30 to 60 seconds as well. We have an inventory tracking system. Some of those items, right, that you list on Amazon are going to go up and down in price. And we want to be able to, keep up with the different price changes on Amazon so we can keep getting sales. And we're not just an e-commerce solution. Like I said, everything I've talked about has been e-commerce so far. And just again, to put the point that this is just one aspect of it, right? The Amazon training we gave you tonight is just one small piece of a larger picture. we also do marketing. We're also great marketers. We have an entire blogging system back there that you can use for whatever, whether you want to be a marketer or talk about, some of your Amazon FBA products if you guys are private labelers or whatever. And again, number 5, we provide you training around that. We provide marketing training as well. Myself, like I said at the beginning of this webinar, I'm a Facebook ads expert. And I spent over $2 million on Facebook last year, and I'm really well versed on creating e-commerce funnels and really generating traffic and sales both on Amazon and Shopify. So it's not just paid marketing training towards affiliates or whatever. It's paid marketing training that can help you boost your e-commerce sales as well. You're also going to get access to weekly 7-figure earner webinars. All right, the owners of the company have generated multiple 7 figures in sales, and we're out there. We don't hire people to get on webinars for us. We're practicing every day what we preach, and trainings like this are going to be regular, whether they're on Amazon or eBay or marketing or Shopify down the road. We're going to be out there at least once a week, maybe more, doing these webinars. You're going to get access to that Profits by tool I just showed you, which we value at $97 if we were going to sell it as a standalone. That is the tool that does basically everything David showed you here today for you, okay, all automated. We also have something that we're going to cover in another webinar, and it's just, I'm not even going to do it justice here. You see the $197 monthly value beside it, and that's a fair value. There are other tools out there that charge $297 for this and don't do half as much as what this tool does, but it's basically a capture page builder. Again, you can use it to build lists for your marketing business, or you can use it to build funnels for your e-commerce products. And what I want to do in a few weeks is come back out and give a good training on how you can use Facebook ads along with our Smart Funnels page builder and generate external sales for your Amazon, eBay, or Shopify business. And of course, much, much more. So if we add up all the value we place on the products, it would cost $656 a month. But we don't want to charge that to people because, frankly, if that's what we would charge, that the people that are on here still right now would all leave the room. So what we charge for everything that I just showed you is a very reasonable $149.99 a month. I mean, if we go back to here and we were just to sell the Smart Funnels page builders as a standalone, that would be sold for $197 on its own, along with Profits by being $97, and you guys can see all the value above. So we have a $149.99 month level, and there's no long-term commitments to it, so you can come in, stay a few months. Hopefully you stay longer. But we believe that is a very good price point to start at. And I know some of you are sitting there saying, $150, all that stuff sounds great. But Sean, I don't need all the bells and whistles. I don't need the Profits by training. I don't need the Smart Funnels. I don't want all that bells and whistles. I just want to get access to the training and the inventory tracking, and I'm happy with that. And that's cool. I'm going to have you covered there. Don't worry. We have a gold membership package, all right? So I don't want to use the word like it's a worse package or a lower package, but there's still a lot of value there, all right? So we're going to give you the first 5 things on that list. You're going to get access to the eBay and Amazon training, along with our Turbo Lister, inventory tracking system, our blogging system, and our marketing training, all right? And if you add up all the value there, you're going to see that that's about $265 a month, and we're giving that away today for $49.99 per month. So you guys really have 2 choices here. You can go, all in, get everything, get all the bells and whistles, get access to that Profits by tool we demoed today, along with all of our training and our Smart Funnels and our 7-figure weekly webinars and all of those 8 bullets and much, much more. I mean, I could really go into further detail and take you on a tour of the website inside and out, but we really don't want to spend time doing that. And that's going to go for $149.99 per month. And then, hey, not everybody is ready to be there, and that's fine. If you want to start at a level that is going to give you access to still solid training and solid tools and services that are going to help you build your e-commerce and marketing business, we'd love to have you as a gold member in our company. So what I need you to do before we get to the questions portions here, if you want to get started, is you can click the button below this webinar, or you can reach out to the person that sent you to this webinar, because we've had a lot of friends and family of ours invite people here, and reach out to them and just see how you can get started. So those are your 2 options on how you can get started. I think that was a very short and soft pitch, and I think hopefully you guys agree that we give a lot of value, and I think that it's fair that with the value that I gave, I could give you guys a little bit of a 5-minute pitch on our company, and I hope you guys, I'd love to see everybody on this webinar jump in as soon as it's over. So without further ado, let me bring up the questions here, and we will spend some time on that. And David and I will be happy to answer as many questions you have. Obviously, questions about the Wealth Network, I'm happy to answer. But again, we just did a little bit of sales pitch on that. So I'd love to actually spend as much time as possible helping you guys with your e-commerce business. So let's get into the questions portion. I know people asked a lot of questions. I can't scroll up, so I'm going to start now. So if you asked questions before, please go ahead and ask them again. But don't be a question guy that asks the same question 80 times until yours gets answered. That's not fair. So just ask it once, and we will do our best to get to them as much as we can. Somebody's asking where I can watch this again. We will post a replay out there. I posted to my email list and Facebook, and others will send it out as well. Is there any webinar for how to open an Amazon service account and post any product? I'm not familiar with an Amazon service account. Are you familiar with that, David?
I think they're just asking an Amazon seller account. Yes, it's the first couple modules inside the Amazon training.
Yeah. So our training goes from zero to hero, I like to call it, right? So if you don't even know what Amazon is or where to get to Amazon, we'll start you there. But if you're well past that, we got stuff for you too, along with beyond the training webinars like this that'll happen regularly. Can David put his formula in the chat box? All right, so let me just type that to everybody. So David, your formula was number of products sold per month divided by number of sellers?
Yes, correct. So FBA Toolkit, you're going to find out how many it sells that day or on a daily average, and then you'll times that by 30. That'll give you how many it sells in a month, and then you would divide that by the number of sellers.
Awesome. Deb says she just joined at 1:49. Welcome aboard, Deb. Happy to have you. And thanks for joining.
And with that, keep in mind of how many months that you're looking to keep it stocked. When you first start, I definitely recommend that you don't, you spend little amount on any one product, and instead just purchase a wide variety of product, and that will allow you to just be seen by a much more amount of buyers.
Awesome. There's a couple questions like this. I'll just throw a few questions into one, but basically it's just about is there going to be training on packing and shipping into Amazon and the process around that?
Yes, there is a training on listing the product. There's also a training on going through the shipping plan and all of that.
Awesome. Just a reminder, guys, the attendance, this is one of the best webinars I've ever done. I should bribe people all the time. The attendance is great. We haven't had a lot of people leave, but I am still going to give away that $100. I just want to get through a lot of these questions. So stick around to the end because we're still going to give you lots of value, maybe for another 10 or 15 minutes here, and then get right out to giving away that $100. So the next question is, David, do you list against Amazon or just other FBA sellers?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as the price that's in the buy box, and the buy box is the first page that comes up when you went into a product. But as long as it shows profitability at that price, then absolutely. I compete with Amazon on probably about, I think last time I ran the numbers, about 14% of my products.
Awesome. Does the training also provide how to find items in an actual store in person?
Yes, that's covered in the retail arbitrage part of the training.
Yes, awesome. Somebody asked a good question about the profits by. Yeah, what if 50 or 100 people bought the same product? I think he meant. Wouldn't that kill the profit? I think he mixed the two words around. But yeah, I get your point. we will scale as the membership scales, right? And we eventually would love to have 1,000 products a day if possible. But our aim is to always have at least one product per person back there, so we can avoid that situation. But theoretically, you could end up with 100 people buying the same product, and eventually you'd all sell it. It just take longer to get your profit.
Yeah. We also, inside the profit spy, there's a suggested price, a suggested price figure. If everybody kind of goes around that price, then here's the thing: instead of trying to lower the price to get the stuff sold quicker, just stay price competitive and keep the price up there, and that way you actually profit. If you keep lowering it and keep lowering it, that person's just going to sell through theirs, and yours will be behind it. So you might be getting a sale every day, and then somebody dropped it down, let them sell through, and then in a couple weeks, yours will be right back there to selling. That's why I said don't ever put too many eggs into one product. Instead, go wide with many different products. And another thing too to talk about is Profit Spy is not designed to retire everyone. Profit Spy is designed to get you a start while you learn to source yourself. And then we're going to have a lot more content on the webinars and more packages down the road that'll teach you a lot of stuff outside of just Profit Spy and online arbitrage.
Awesome.
But there's millions of products out there, so learn to source yourself, and that's where tons of money comes in.
Yep, exactly. There's a couple questions I can answer here. Is it better to create your own listing from scratch or just piggyback on an existing listing? In this particular example, we're piggybacking at all times. I'm in the UK, but assume the same principle applies to the UK and UK suppliers 100% for sure. Here we go. I'm ready to start. Sorry, let me just keep going here. Find another one. Somebody asking about drop shipping. Drop shipping, no. There are ways to do drop shipping, but guys, look, Amazon drop shipping. You can just Google it. It's against their terms and service for the most part. The way people are doing it, getting products from Walmart, Sears, etc. It's against their terms of service, and they specifically say if you do it, we can and will shut you down. So I would really focus more on FBA. The margins are better. You have to do less work. You have less capital involved often. I don't know. I just think it's a way better option. That's where Amazon wants you to do these days. So are there any hidden? Go ahead, David.
One thing too, to back up to your last question about international, we do teach international to sell inside of the US as well.
Yep, exactly. Are there any other hidden charges inside of TWN? No. That's a good point. I should mention we do have a service that we offer to you guys exclusive to us at a very nominal fee that we make no money off of, where you can actually buy products online, ship it to our forwarder, and that forwarder will get that item into Amazon for you. So you now actually have to go out to a Walmart or buy items and have it shipped to your home. You can buy from the supplier, ship it to our forwarder, and it goes into Amazon. And I think they do it for about 80 to 90 cents a unit. So very inexpensive. David, you want to mute out there, buddy? It's kind of windy.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Here we go. I'm just going to take maybe, 5 more minutes of questions here, and then we'll keep going. Is this training for the $49.99 level? Yep, exactly. It gets even better and crazier maybe not crazier is not a good word, but let's just say more advanced in the 149 level. Let me just keep going. Is your Turbo Lister the eBay Turbo Lister or software you created? It's a software we created with a similar name. And you can create as many listings as you want. I remember somebody asking that question before. Any way to see the Turbo listing in action? Unfortunately, not on this webinar because this is an Amazon webinar, and I'd have to go into eBay and find an item, and that could take me a good 10 or 15 minutes to just get started. But I'm also not an eBay guy, but we will do an eBay training in the future, and we'll definitely demo that tool for you. Okay. Let me just keep going here. Lots of questions. You guys are great tonight. Thanks for sticking around. So match or go higher priced. I think David said 2.5% above the buy box price. Using the buy box algorithms will usually keep you rotated in. And for those who are new, sorry, that might be in a bit of an advanced topic. When you go to Amazon.com and you see the big orange buy box, that can be different sellers. And based on assuming that you're a good seller with a good history and good reviews and fast shipping and a bunch of other stuff that goes into the calculation, as long as your pricing is within 2.5%, you will get that giant orange button just as much as somebody else. So person A might get a sale, then the next sale will go to person B, and then it'll go to person C, and so on. And it'll just rotate around. So we always recommend that at the very least, at the very worst, you tie the buy box price, but you can also be, 2.5% above it. How can I get started at Amazon right now to create an account? You just go to sellercentral.amazon.com, and it's pretty self-explanatory to get signed up. When does all the training begin? Upon joining tonight. The second you join, you can go right in the back office, and there'll be videos and everything ready to go. All right, we're almost coming to the end. Where do we find? Okay, Squire cash investment for the product. Yes, obviously in this situation, so like those thermoses that were $6, you would buy them up front, ship them into Amazon, and then when they sell, you would get paid from Amazon. Is there a private Facebook group? Yes, and that reminds me, that will be the final question of the evening. Here is how you're going to go ahead and get your prize for the night. So I'm going to head over to Facebook, and I'm going to show you our, we have a Facebook group here. I'm going to head over to our Facebook page, which is simply facebook.com/The Wealth Network Official. And I'm going to say the lucky number 7, the 7th person to come over to this page and comment on my post will arrange to get you a $100, probably through PayPal, over to your account. So let me just post it here. How did you guys enjoy our TWN training tonight on Amazon with David? Oh, I don't know. I guess maybe I can't tag David here. Arnett. All right, so I'm going to press publish, and whoever the 7th person is to go ahead and comment on this post is going to win a $100 cash prize. So let's hope we can hurry up and do that live on the webinar. Let me just post this link in the chat for you, and then we will call it a day. So here we go. Let me see here. We got 1, 2. The reply doesn't count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So Roxanne Cdath, sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. My deepest apologies. I will reach out to you the second the webinar ends, and we will coordinate the $100 cash prize. So guys, please go ahead, type some 1s in the question box if you really like this webinar tonight. Make sure that we gave some value, and get out here and help you guys as much as we possibly can. And the chat it's going crazy. People are just typing 1s left, right, and center. So with that being said, thank you guys for coming out. I hope you got tremendous value out of this, and I look forward to seeing you on future webinars. And just a reminder, go ahead and get back to the person who invited you here, or click the button below, whichever option you want to choose. And we will hopefully see you on the inside. Everybody have a good night. Take care.